Great day, my sisters, brothers. Great day, great day. I'm back again, Maria Leslie, with you. I am here. You already know, huh? Your soul matters. My soul matters. It is important how we manage our soul in this day, in this time that we're living in. There was a time that we didn't discuss very much about it, but we've always, since Adam and Eve, since God blew the breath of life into man and man became a living soul, we've always had the possession of our soul. If you were allowed to enter into this world, you came with a soul. You are a spirit being. We are spirit beings that possess a soul. We live in a body. We're spirit beings. We possess a soul, and all of that's it's encased inside of our body. And it is important to God how we manage it. Why? Because He has such great expectations of us. God the Father, the creator of the ends of the earth. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. That's us. We dwell in the earth in Genesis at the very beginning. When he said, let us make man, he established mankind in such a hierarchy of everything else that he created. And he always intended for us to dominate, to have dominion. And that word dominion, it begins with do, to do, to do maintain, to do dress, to do keep, to do multiply, to do expand, to do be atop of everything else on the earth, over the beasts of the field, over the fowl of the air, over the fish of the sea, and everything that's in the earth is up to mankind to manage it. And in order to do that, we have to have a healthy soul. We have to have a healthy soul. And that soul is also a three-part: mind, will, that's your determination of what you will do, what you won't do, and your emotion, which is your feelings and how you process things. It comes through the emotional realm, and we have to have temperance. We have to have a good self control. We have to have a healthy mind. Oh yeah, yeah, and our will have to be properly aligned with everything that we do in the earth. You have to know in your knower how you are to appropriate any part of yourself to anything that's going on in the world. Yes, yes, yes. And in order to do that, see, it's step by step that we take as we're going up from glory to glory, from strength to strength. And in this year of multiple graces, from grace to grace, and from faith, listen, to more matured faith. Yeah, yeah, we have to have a healthy conscience, which is a part of the soulish realm, and it's been associated with the emotions. It's been associated with the emotional part of the soul. And listen, there are two words that are very, very much alike, and that is conscious, CONSCIENCE, and then there's conscious, CONSCIOUS. They are different, and then they cross section at points. All right, they're different, but then they cross section at points. I'm talking about the conscious, the conscience. That's what I'm going to talk to you about, and we'll talk a little bit about the conscious as well. But that conscience, I'm saying it like that so you can differentiate what it is that I am actually describing at this point, and that is the ability to hear that inner voice on the inside, that will guide you into rightness or wrongness, that differentiates behavior of right and wrong. And that you Your conscience, you don't override it, that little voice inside of you when it's like beep, 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 alert when you're about to cross and do something that you ought not do. That inner voice, that inner feeling, you know something is not right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You know it in your knower because you're conscious in your soulish realm, that a part of the emotional part of you knows right from wrong, knows right from wrong. And in good conscience, that's how we move. Out of a good conscience comes a good end result. It may not seem like it at the beginning, but eventually all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and those that make healthy decisions, those who have a healthy conscience, who have not overrode or overridden their conscience. That you don't keep on thinking, I don't think God needed. No, you know, in your knower, you know what's right, you know what's wrong, you know what's true. And you even tease it out for the truth. You'll tease it out for the truth. That's what we want. We want to be able to tease out the truth. We want to err. If we're going to err, we want to err on the side of truth. That word conscious is described 30 times in the New Testament. 30 times in the New Testament. And is written several times. Paul is the one that used the word conscious more than any of the other writers of the New Testament. And I want to highlight where he is speaking to Timothy, where he's speaking to Timothy in the first chapter. Because it more aligns with what it is that I'm wanting to convey, because we are living in a environment, in a time where lies are acceptable. And the truth seems like nobody cares about it. And it doesn't matter who cares about it and who don't care about it. You make sure that you are telling the truth on the inward side of you. Make sure that your loins are girded about with truth, that you are a truth monger. Why? Because it's going to come back at some point, and it's not only going to affect how you show up in the world. It's going to affect your body. It's going to affect you. Yes, it is. It's going to affect you. Telling the truth is the best way to keep a healthy conscience. You don't even have to remember what it is that you did or said or how you said it if you're telling the truth. if 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 you're if you're not operating under a cloak of deception, which is just everywhere now. It's everywhere in our society. It's everywhere in our society. And we have to keep ourselves together, because we have a expectation that our outcome will be successful. That's what we are looking for, a good outcome in our life, throughout our life, right now, later. We're looking for good outcomes. And the only way to do that is let your conscience be healthy. And the Bible, it lets us know in 1 Timothy 4:2. I'm not going to be able to just delve into it, but because I'm on a time clock here, and I don't want to hold you up. I don't want to hold you up. But what I want to do is convey this, that Timothy was written by Apostle Paul to uh, Timothy, who was a pastor. And he wanted Timothy to be aware of his behavior, how he was showing up. He wanted to make sure that his personal conduct was paramount. And when I use that word paramount, personal conduct is most important than anything else. It's supreme. You're uh, 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 showing up in the world with good conduct is more important than anything. Yes, it is, because somebody is looking to you for guidance. They're looking to you for guidance. There's enough bad behavior out there. And it's a whole lot of people following after it. And the person who is leading them may never get in trouble. May never get in trouble. May be able to slip through every hooping, looping, and just keep on going on. Seem like they are just getting away with murder. Oh, but you can get by, my sisters and brothers, but you can't get away. You can't get away. And we're not looking for loopholes. We're looking to stand on a firm foundation. That's what we're looking to do. We're building our lives because we are doing what God expects of us to do. That's have dominion over the earth, the dominion over our lives. To be the one that is handling business correctly. There is a correct and incorrect way to do it. All right, having a good conscience, and it gets as simple as this. See, sometimes we don't know when we have overrode our conscience. We don't realize when we have actually overrode our conscience because we let little bitty things slip by, like not stopping at the stop sign. It's a big red stop sign at the end of the street before you cross over to another street for many uh-huh of our roads. Oh, you just keep on flying by it. You keep on flying by it. Uh-huh. You're not stopping. We get in the car, we don't put our seatbelts on. You know, just little bitty things. It's just little bitty things. We're picking up things that don't belong to us. Little bitty things is no harm. There's no harm. Next thing you know, you start doing more and more things that does not line up with good behavior. And next thing you know, your conscience is seared. Why? Because you weren't paying attention. Because something inside of you told you, don't pick that up. Stop at the stop sign. We're driving around with no license, or our license have expired, or our license are suspended, and it doesn't bother us at all. Are you conscious? Something told you on the inside. Every time you go to conduct business, your license are expired, your license are suspended. Something's inside of you telling you this is your conscience. It's your conscience. And so you just keep overriding your conscience, keep overriding your conscience. You're going places you have no business going. The first time that you enter into an establishment that you know you have no business there, something inside of you is telling you you shouldn't be there. But you keep overriding your conscience. Next thing you know, nothing bothers you. Nothing bothers you at all. Nothing bothers you at all. And that's when you become in danger to yourself and those that you have the responsibility to care for because they're looking at you and they are taking their cues for life from you. Oh, you know what? I'm wrestling with this. I've been wrestling with this. My God, because it's such a touchy subject, but because of the hierarchy of our leadership in our world, it seems to be corrupt and they seem to have no conscience. And because I know how that works, it's a trickle down effect. And eventually we'll start picking up bad behavior, because we're looking at others who seemingly are getting away with a bad behavior that we just think that we can. No, no, no. Some people, they just keep getting away, getting away, getting away, getting away, getting away. And the very first time you do something you have no business doing, you get caught. That's God because he loves you. He doesn't want you to start thinking that you can do what other people do. We do have to be better than everybody else. We have to. No, no, you're not in competition with them. No, 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 no. But Dr. Martin Luther King said we have to live better. We have to be better just in order to assimilate. We have to be better because we are being looked at. Everybody's looking at us and how we behave. We're looking at one another. We're talking about one another. Listen. Our personal conduct is affected by how healthy our conscience is. We have to keep our lives clean. Uh-huh. We have to have a conscience that that's able to bear witness to the truth when you hear it. You got to know. See, if your conscience is healthy, when something hits your ear, it's not right. Your conscience right away, but mm-mm, mm-mm. Right away. That's if you have a healthy conscience. It's right away. When it hits your ear, it's like, no, mm-mm, that's not right. Or, uh, or that is right. It will bear witness to the truth. It will bear witness to the truth. So again, what is the conscious conscience? Will know. Will know. You know. You know what's right. You know the difference. Innately, you know the difference. You're built to know. A child knows when he or she is doing something they have no business doing. They know when it's acceptable. And sometimes when they know they're doing something they have no business doing, they look and see if somebody's going to correct them, see if they can get away. Let us, as leaders in the world, those that have dominion and those that are exercising their dominion in the world, uh-huh, uh, conscious with the knowledge of, with the knowledge of innately what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. It comes from the Latin word consentia. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Being privy of knowing. You know. And sometimes we like to play the nut role like we don't know, but you do know. But in this world, our conscience is being tested. And it's like, are you going to go with all of the ones that are saying things that you know is not right? And that even goes, let's get down to the meat of it. We don't have to pull anybody else down, point out anybody else's failures and faults and things of that nature, especially when they're in leadership. We don't have to do that. Our conscience won't let us do that. Our conscience won't let us do that. They may be misbehaving. They may even be deserving of being talked about, being ridiculed, and things of that nature. But because they're in the seat, we have to be very, very careful. That starts. That's in the secular world. That's in the spiritual world. That's everywhere. Listen, we don't have to pull anybody down. We don't have to talk against anybody. We don't have to do that, and we should not use our energy for that. Let's use our energy to continue to have dominion, to rule and to reign in the earth, and to do those things that we know that have been assigned to our hand and that we must complete. That conscious, the feeling that you know, and you should do what is right, and you should avoid doing what is wrong, and that you make that thing will make you feel guilty when you have done something that you know is wrong. That's the conscience that we're talking about. With the knowledge of you know. And why am I hammering on this? Because there's so much misbehavior. There's so much bad behavior coming out of adults, out of people who are educated, people who are in our government, people in our churches, people in our homes. So much bad behavior, and that's why because somebody it is apparent in the appearance of the perception is, and the perception is reality. We know perception is reality, isn't it? That's what we say. Perception is reality. It appears that these people are getting away with it. If they can do it, then I can. No. So that means you don't have a good, healthy understanding of who you are whenever you subject yourself to doing something that is wrong because somebody else has done something that you deem to be wrong. And now because they did that, you can just go ahead. No. Let's even bring it down to this. A husband and a wife. Maybe one of them was found in infidelity, and the one who was not guilty decide, well, okay, so They went and messed up. So now I'm gonna go and mess up. Now you got messy, messy. That may not have been the right illustration, but that's the first thing that came to mind. Two wrongs don't make a right. Keep your conscience healthy. Keep your hands clean. Keep your motives pure. In this day and time, it's going to pay off if you do. It's going to pay off for you to keep your conscience healthy, keep your heart pure, keep your motives correct. It has to be that way in order for you to rule and reign the way that will remain. It will remain. It will remain. It will be something that's lasting. If you want to pass down generational wealth to your children, not only financially, but spiritually, in modesty, yeah, all those things, pass down righteousness to them. Somebody's watching you. Let us never get to the point where our conscience becomes seared, uh-huh, because of false words, through hypocrisy of liars that they have destroyed. Uh, uh, they're destroying the consciousness of many, and because their conscience is seared by a hot iron. That's what it says in First Timothy 4:2. They were talking about teaching parts of the law. They were talking about um, the law of Moses and things of that nature, but it relates to what I'm wanting to get over to us in just our relevance of life, just natural life, natural life. Uh-huh. We ought not handle the Bible that way, for sure. We ought not handle living righteously that way. We ought not handle our day-to-day lives that way either. We know that the law is for the lawless. The law is for the lawless. But if your heart is pure, you don't need the law to guide you. If you're letting your conscience, a healthy conscience, be your guide, or let's differentiate there. That is a good phraseology to use. Let your conscience be your guide. But if your conscience is unhealthy, you know that too. Don't let your conscience be your guide, because your conscience is going to tell you the wrong thing if it's seared with a hot iron, if it's a dead conscience. Mm-hmm. You want a live, healthy conscience that's going to check you before anybody else checks you. You checking yourself. Okay, I'm thinking like this. It's thinking. I've got to table this and get this out of my spirit, man, because it's holding me up. See, when your conscience is unhealthy, it holds you up. It also could cause anger, and anger blocks good wisdom. Ooh, anger blocks wisdom. Anger allows wisdom to just be null and void. You will not operate in good wisdom when your conscience is seared and you're just acting out because somebody else did. All right. So because we are living in a time when tales are being told and agendas are not favorable for the commonwealth, when we're seeing that people are exercising all kind of privileges that really are not theirs to operate in, but they're taking privilege. Uh-huh. And telling tales and calling right wrong and calling wrong right and operating from there. Listen, we don't waste your energy. Continue to work on your spirituality. Continue to work on your mental wellness. Continue to build your financial wealth. Continue to make sure that you are in good physical condition. Because I want you to know, none of this stuff lasts always. And when it gets done running its course, when all this bad behavior gets done running its course, and it has an end date, it has an expiration date, you want to make sure you can just keep on moving because you didn't get caught up in the okey doke. You didn't get caught up in it. You didn't just stop living and start picking up all kind of bad behavior, picking up wooden nickels, as my dad would say. Robert Apple Sr. That's my dad, who's resting with the Lord. Robert Apple Sr. would say, "Don't pick up wooden nickels." And it took a long time for me to understand what in the world is he talking about. Don't pick up wooden nickels. I understand now. Uh, uh, don't buy the lie, because listen, you can't even spend it. It's fake. It's phony. Operate in the truth. And then comes the word conscious. Um, to be conscious, first of all, it means you're alive. Okay. And that's the spelling of that is CON, with life, with awareness, being aware of oneself and one's surroundings, encompassing the ability to think, to feel, and experience the world. Essentially being awake and aware, being aware of everything around you, including how the environment is shifting and how your place in the environment, being conscious of how it's affecting you. Yeah, check your stocks and things of that nature. Check, uh, 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 keep an eye on what is yours, and how it's shifting. Be aware of how different rates have changed and things of that nature. Ask questions about it. Don't just let things happen. Be passive. Not in this time, not in this season, when you're taking dominion, when you're taking your rightful stand as God has so designed for you to take in this time, in this season. Use everything that God has given you to be the best you that you can be. You have a healthy conscience. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You're not overriding those alerts on the inside of you that's letting you know that, mm, and how you're to participate in or not participate. Because there's always a way, that you don't have to become this so obvious about how you're going to work. You don't have to be. You don't have to make it so clear. You don't have to be so blunt. Mm-hmm. You could be professional, and you could keep your poise about yourself, and you do the right thing, and then let the Lord take care of the rest. Make sure that you're suited and booted for this time, because we're in the month of March. All right. Yeah, and we're marching forward. Thank you, Elder Selena Moore. We are suited and we're booted, and we are going forward. We are taking dominion. Remember, DO is the beginning of dominion. That means you have to do something to maintain, to dress, to keep, to make sure that you're showing up properly. All right. And you make sure you have a healthy conscience. A healthy conscience. That means you're not just keep overriding the alerts that's on the inside of you that's letting you know something's not right with this, or maybe I need to step back and take a closer look at how I'm going to participate. All right. All right. So remember, your soul matters. My soul matters. My soul matters. I hope that I've said something that's useful to you in this day, in this time. Just know that uh, we have to be healthy. We have to live healthy. We have to conduct ourselves in a healthy manner. That we cannot allow uh, the environment to change us. Environmental. No, we're not barometers. We are thermostats. We change the environment. We don't let the environment change us. You have more power than that. So operate in it, all right? Your soul, my soul matters. Until next time, listen, I hope you have a beautiful week, a blessed week, and that everything goes into you, and that everything favors you, that the favor of God goes with you.